Yeah, I wanted to show this. A friend who's helped me with a few things, some things through the winter, um, so that I would have some clothes, and a few other people sent some things. Because I've been in rags almost all my life, except for a period of time when I was married. And I had my sons. Anyway, I wrote a book about medical malpractice. Larry McDonald, congressman, doctor out of Atlanta, and a bunch of others. I had worked for doctors, and I was dealing with mind control, Tesla files that were stolen, 1930. I'm not going to say anything else here other than I wanted to add to a video that I plan to put up second, I guess. Now, I don't, because my access to the internet's been jammed. I finally did get my private server. They, of course, provide a internet Wi-Fi, but it was jammed too for a few days. Well, for a while now, I think. Anyway, it's back for today. It was yesterday. It just takes to upload anything takes like 4 to 6 hours, really more like 6. So I'm going to try to get this up. Anyway, she gave me this pair of pajamas and some other things over the winter, and I'm grateful, very. I wanted, and some other people helped with some food and things like that, and I want to thank them very much. And I won't add, well, anyway. I'm tired. I think I'm going to go back to bed. It's bad weather, rain, sleet, snow, and now it's going to be, I guess you don't need a weather forecast, flooding here. Anyway, I wanted to put this up because, again, it's about Meghan Markel. I'm not going to get this right here, but I'm going to try. And I've said nothing against Meghan. I don't know the outcome of this. I would think that was a staged marriage, is what I think. And I think in the end, I hope this is the way it turns out. It's put up there and it shows how I, the real monarch, was treated. Kidnapped, brought over here, my father and mother taken down, destroyed. They were still married in October the 20th of 86 when I came to Roanoke. That's King Edward VIII, who was always married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor when he was king. They wanted to take him down because he wouldn't follow their orders. My father was an honest man, and they took him down, and when I was born in 39 and kidnapped in 41, brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin that had been murdered. She and Carl, he was murdered too, were born out of wedlock back then, and they gave me her name. And JFK helped in my kidnapping. His father had been appointed ambassador to England for that purpose of taking down my father, and then I happened along, so they had to get rid of me, and did they. Now, I wanted to focus on this because Meghan Markle, she enjoyed the wedding. Married with Children she grew up on the set there, and her father worked on the set all those years. And there's a connection to mind control, how I knew that mind control, I'm losing this, tied together they were tied together in patterns. So I won't try to get into this. Hopefully this will be told and before I die. And I hope my children are well and safe and I get to see them. But I wanted to go ahead, since that's not feasible right at the moment, obviously. I wanted to focus back for reasons of my own. To try to explain this, if it's ever explained, really, I wanted to show the auric. Again. And I'm not going to try to explain that. Yeah, my life, is not going. Trying to make sure it's going up to a beauty salon and having all the makeup done, food prepared for me. Heaven forbid I got out of the shelters, and seems that when people commit crimes, they don't want you to tell about them. they'll go after you again. So let me just cut to the chase and say this. Megan was over here. The auric comes into play that someone sent that to me, and I hope I'm not getting them into trouble. They did, as far as I know now, they did nothing wrong. I guess I'll wait and see. I don't think they did. Anyway, they over YouTube, I met this person, and he sent me the auric because I've needed one all along. I begged and pleaded because I have to anybody and everybody. Nobody did. They don't all cost as much. It's about $400, but you can get a used one or one that's a model, and they used to cut it down a little bit. Maybe they did it just for me, but I only had one, and I carried it up on the Appalachian Trail till I couldn't carry it anymore. So that's how much it meant to me when I come down and I made a force-fed chemicals, and I'm allergic to it. I have an autoimmune disorder. So over time, the inflammation, your immune system attacks itself. Over time, if you're subjected to the smells and chemical odors and everything and have to inhale the mold and mildew, your whole body can be full of so much inflammation, kidneys, all of it, lungs. Now I want to get back to this. Megan had Charles Walker down in Windsor Castle, Frogmore, where the double who married Wallace, they're buried there. So if you compared my DNA to him, he's an imposter. I don't know who he really is. He's not my father. He's not Edward VIII. Wallace was an American spy. But anyway, they were married there in the church, and there was a big to-do about her dad not getting to come over. Her mother did. So gowns and everybody focused on it, the media. I've run to them about the mind control murders and about my kidnapping and all, and they've just totally ignored me. In fact, I was out in Dallas a few years ago, and I walked up with papers that are legit and was going to give them to the press, and they told me I couldn't come in, and I said, well, I just want to see and hand this package. You can check it. It's just a little parcel, like you mail in a manila envelope. And they told me they would arrest me. And people will say, oh, yeah, lady. Yeah, they did. Well, they threatened me, and they would have. Now, I'll get off that because that's the way it's gone. I'm standing there. I will go back to this. And what was the name of that they worked for? It was one of the big ones, newspapers that most of the time you find them as complimentary at some of the hotels or motels. Anyway, I'd had my hair yanked out, and I won't get into circumstances that are hell. Back here, chunks of it, and with a tennis, one of those bands, and I had it on, and the person come up behind me, and I'm going to leave that horror story out, except that twisted, I don't know how he twisted it, but he threw me at 11 o'clock at night way up in the mountains near Gatlinburg. I was trying to get back, and I was waylaid then, walking. Now I go in to Knoxville, and I go in with my handful of hair and the tennis band. And right away, he knew I was coming. It was a black man. He was sitting there at the desk, and he said, we can't help you. Get out. So now then, let me update it here. The Meghan Markle came here. Well, she hadn't come here to Roanoke yet that I know of, but she came to the U.S. for a baby shower, which cost $700,000. Some of her friends supposedly helped pay it. You have to compare her and Elizabeth and Diana and William and Harry, the fakes, to the life that has been forced on me and my children, torture. You can't get to the lies and torture. It's such a list, you'd never get it done. Even if to read it almost, and I'm serious. Don't take it lightly, just in case I ever make it. Anyway, I'm going to try to get back to this. Megan was given such treatment just here by the press, 5 days. I mean, they covered her like she was, and I've said this, excuse me, the second coming of Christ. You never could get a publicity agent to get all this for you. It would cost you a bloody fortune to buy the time and to get all these good things told and showing and all this. And I'm not going to get into who accompanied her to the posh motel room, 7,000 a night, 5 nights. I pointed out that the Auric, you don't see this very much. What I just told you, the Auric name, you used to on TV all the time. But I'm not advertising it. I wish I could without pay because they're good. But anyway, the friend sent me that and it didn't work. Now it does. And I had a warranty. And anyway, I tried it about a week ago, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it works. Maybe not great, but it works good. And this is a good brand, believe me. It's the only thing I had, and I left it. I couldn't carry it out in the Appalachian Trail anymore because they're heavy. So you know how much it helped me trying to keep it. So if this hasn't gone off, I'm getting back to this. It connects with Meghan Markle. I said it was staged, and somebody can tune me out unless this is told, why it goes untold, and the crimes against me and mine are forgotten, covered up, and they're not in history. My dad's name's still made out to be like he's garbage and a traitor when it's totally opposite. And my mom, who's an American, by the way, has been deleted from history. Her pictures and everything, especially that she's married to my dad, and they had me and Victoria II the moment I was born. And yes, it's legal without me going into everything. But the Auric came up and all the to-do about it, and there was more to all this, the gentleman, and I think he's okay now. I began to wonder about him. I think he's a good guy. Anyway, Megan came over here, and she got all these gifts, and my God, the round trip, the jet, private jet and all, cost $700,000. Wonder how many baby gifts you could get with that. Then if they switched and showed about my life and what was done to me and mine, it's a horror story that nobody wants to hear. Oh, it's a doozy, and you compare it with my whole life to how I was done here by most people, except there's a few now. And I want to acknowledge them. I don't want to forget my friends, people that were really friends to me. I've always said that. And to the Brits and Germans that helped me. And without them, and you talk about God all the time, I'm going to say, and God, I'd be dead. My kids, I hope they're alive. So now then let me jump to this. The Auric, you don't see this. It's the first time I've seen them like that. You have to get them off of Amazon now, whereas they were on TV and really popular a few years ago, and they're vacuum cleaners, everything. But they're good. I can't say enough about it, but I've never seen this before until he sent me this one, which this gentleman, I asked him, I told him it's the only thing that helps me. And along comes Megan over here with all her entourage, and Serena Williams was with her, and I've forgotten the other stars and the other security and all this that encompassed her coming to a posh suite and the restaurant and the hair and whatever her entourage consisted of. All the people loving her. And George Clooney's wife from Italy, who's a famed civil rights attorney. I've never had a civil right. Let me mind you that I'm the real monarch sitting here all my life, and what's been done to me and my family and country in plain sight. And this George Clooney's wife is there with her celebrating. I think she was a part of the whole thing, putting the shower together. Now Megan has left, and with her at the shower was an Auric. It was a great big long one with Auric big on it, so you could see it. I saw it then and I thought, aha, because I'm used to this. It's done at a high level, okay? So now then when she's, she's going to get on a plane, private jet. I've had to walk and starve and live on the trail and freeze and crawl, and I almost lost my legs. And I mean, you can keep going on and on every day of my life. Now then, had a big thing to get all these gifts on. Everybody loves her. They even gave her a portrait. I forgot who gave her that. I know Beyonce was supposed to be there, and Jay-Z. I don't know if Jay-Z. And then I heard, what's her name, King, that's Oprah's friend. She was there. And I think, I don't want to misquote someone, oh, heaven forbid, that Beyonce wasn't there. Anyway, that was the news media that I heard. And beside what I'm trying to make is all this love and everything. The media was purporting or reporting that she's America's princess. Can you understand this? My mom was American. She was the queen. Whole thing a lie about my dad. All these crimes about me and done to me and my children, ongoing, who are the real heirs. And I'm sitting here, I've really been a hostage in plain sight. I can't get on a plane and go home. I could get on a plane and they'd fly me into the ocean, I guess. But I couldn't get a passport. Much less if I were to go home and say, hey, I'm the Queen of England. Most people don't even know about me or the real truth about it. So now, where am I? I'm going to get off in a minute here and wonder if these are going to go off because my Wi-Fi has been jammed. But anyway, they were talking about Meghan. Now she's back. She's going to have another baby shower there in London, and she's going to Casablanca, Morocco. It's an African city, and she's had a program on cooking, and they honored her, and the way you do it is you have to show what's the life the real queen, the real monarch has been through. And what I've done writing about the mind control murders and the Illuminati that control your media and the world, global government. It's the United Nations. When they took down my father, there's a timeline in 36, and you follow it. Because my father wouldn't take orders from them. And Uncle George, Elizabeth's father, they're fake. They're war criminals and should be tried. That means a whole lineage there, down to Kate and Harry, and you got the in-betweens, William and Kate and Charles and Diana. Diana always knew about me. They have flaunted this, and people will get mad at me for telling the truth. Diana always knew about me. This is not right, what happened. It's a crime, even if the only way, and I hope he does, God comes in. He's the only one that can do it. There's nobody else can. It's such a hideous crimes ongoing and heist of the British Empire. The good's made to look bad, the bad made to look good. I think that's all I had to say. But they're promoting, giving publicity to Meghan Markle. They did it to Diana, who purported she didn't like the publicity. Oh, yes, she did. What do you think she thrived on? How do you think this whole mess has been carried out? The Illuminati controlled press, which President Trump, I did not say the wrong word there, has told you about.